We've doubled corn yields twice in the history of farming. And we did the first doubling with very little technology. It was really about the mechanization of agriculture. When we went from 75 to 150, that was about the new age in science. It was about chemical weed control, better seed, better fertility. Now when we look at where we're at and doubling yields nationally, we have a lot more technology to actually do it than we did in either of the two previous doubles.
We know the American farmer today is in that 150 to 160 bushel average nationwide. If we're going to feed each and every person in this world, say 9.7 billion people, we need to be at that 300 bushel an acre.
There really are three main drivers of yield as we look at it in Monsanto. Breeding produces the basic yield potential. Most of the biotech traits protect that yield potential. And then there's a third piece that's really needed to actually fully deliver the potential of both of those other pieces, and that's the agronomic piece or the equipment piece. Because you can do the best job possible in breeding and biotech, and if it's not planted and managed correctly from an equipment perspective, you really don't get the full yield value.
The way I think about it is, it really is based on our knowledge and increasing knowledge of the genetics. As we've been able to understand all the genes in the corn plant and map and tag and use the robotics and the breeding tools and the seed chippers, it gives us more and more knowledge of how to optimize that seed in a given geography, in a given field, in a given soil type.
For the first two doublings, we really did things on an average basis. So on average, this hybrid is better than that hybrid. But when you look at an individual field, it's really not about averages. It's about the interaction of the soil, the inputs, the hybrid, the planting density. And so when we average things out, we average out a lot of value. So on this particular field, this particular hybrid planted a specific way produces more yield and more value than that hybrid planted a different way. And that's what integrated farming systems is about. So it's about exploiting the interaction, not the average. And that's a completely different way of thinking about farming. One of the other paradigm shifts in Monsanto is around data. And when you think about mapping all of the layers of data on 400 million acres worldwide, you rapidly realize that this is truly gigantic data. It starts with specific fields and the field boundaries for that field. If we have that, we can create a yield management zone map. Once we have the yield management zone map, we can select the right hybrid for that field. And once we've selected the right hybrid for that field, we can create what's called a field script, which is a variable rate seeding prescription for that hybrid in that field, and then we can transmit that to the controller in the cab wirelessly. And that's how the farmer gets a field script.
It's about feeding the world and raising 300 bushels. And when we take science and the world's best genetics and marry it up with the world's best planter technology, that's going to be the key to success.